This is breaking, and it won't stay quiet for long. A phone call was made, a question was asked, and the answer could tilt the NFC in a way nobody saw coming. I'm talking about a move that would shake the line of scrimmage, change the way teams script Friday practices against Detroit, and force every offensive coordinator on our schedule to rewrite third and medium. If you're catching this now, you're early, because when this hits the larger feeds, it'll be chaos. You can feel the urgency in the building. Coaches speaking a little shorter. Scouts double-checking numbers late at night. Players tapping the defensive line room door before meetings like they're walking into a church. Detroit has a window. The smart teams don't stare at it, they climb through it. And that's exactly why the whispers are turning into real conversations. Here's what we're going to do together today. Without spoiling the headline yet, I'll walk you through the trench math that decides January football. The cap reality that either unlocks or blocks blockbuster ideas. The trade market dynamics that suddenly favor buyers. And the truth about how one addition can raise everyone else's level by half a grade. We'll play out rotations, snap counts, third down packages, and red zone personnel. Then, when it's time, we'll put the name on the table. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report. If you ride with real analysis that respects your time and your football IQ, hit subscribe, drop a like so more Detroit diehards get this before it's everywhere. And ring the bell. We keep you ahead of the curve, not chasing it first. Let's set the scene on defense. Detroit's identity under Aaron Glenn has grown teeth, physical edges, an attacking second level, and a front that plays with leverage and hate in short yardage. But the NFL is a copycat league, and the book on us is outmove the pocket. Get rid of the ball in 2.4 seconds, live on crossers and chips, and pray you survive our closing kick. To break that rhythm, you need interior havoc that doesn't rely on the clock. You need a player who ruins angles before they exist. On offense, the Lions are giving you complementary football that travels, balanced script, play action with bite, a run game that hurts when it lands. That's why the front office is thinking big. If you truly believe in February, you invest in the one thing that shortens games, flips fields, and turns Baltimore-style bullies into check-down merchants pressure where the quarterback breathes. Financially, Detroit is finessing the sweet spot teams envy, a franchise quarterback playing elite ball, stars earning it, and enough structure to take a swing without trapping yourself for 3 years. That doesn't mean reckless. It means precise. If you fire the big round, it better land. The marketplace is cruel and kind at the same time. Some teams are already wobbling and will listen. Others are pretending they're fine while their coaches are losing sleep. This is where your scouting department earns its salary and your GM earns his reputation. Identifying the one piece that changes how the other 10 look. Keep in mind the human side. Dan Campbell's locker room is built on purpose and accountability. You don't drop a mercenary in there and hope. You bring in a tone setter who respects the work, who lifts the standard, who doesn't need a camera to lead. The fit is as much about Tuesday as it is about Sunday. There's also the schedule. The next stretch is the kind that exposes thin fronts or turns them into legends. Road noise, heavy hands, weather that makes your breath fog, and offensive lines that want to bully you into submission. If you want to announce yourself as the team nobody wants in January, this is the month you add the kind of power that reforms tendencies league-wide. All right. We've built the frame because that's what serious fans deserve. Now we put the picture in it. The name being discussed in league circles as the ultimate Detroit swing? A return to dominance blueprint built around a top 5 interior defensive lineman. The kind of player who changes the math before the ball is snapped. The target the room keeps coming back to is Jeffrey Simmons. Let that sink in. Not a rotational boost. Not a nice piece. A force who commands double teams on Tuesday's install sheet. A player whose presence next to Aiden Hutchinson would make offensive line coaches pick the lesser evil and still get punished for the choice. You can hear the chessboard move slide to 97. Chip 97. Late help inside now, the edge is one-on-one. The back has to scan, the tight end can't release clean. And your quarterback is throwing from a phone booth. Football fit first, money second. In Glenn's fronts, Simmons would live in the B gap like a landlord. First down, eat doubles and squeeze zone. Second down, run past gray area where his get-off messes with timing. Third down, align in gains with Hutchinson and Alan McNeil. Run TE stunts, force the guard to declare, and let our edge feast on clean corners. The goal isn't highlight sacks. It's bad throws on 2nd and 8 that become punts on 4th and 5. Now the cap puzzle. You're not renting a mystery box. You're acquiring a prime-age cornerstone on a veteran money deal. That means real dollars and real commitment. Detroit can navigate it if the structure respects future extensions for our core and if the draft cost doesn't hollow out the pipeline. This is where Brad Holmes earns the applause. Front-load smart, preserve flexibility, and refuse to pay nostalgia tax or panic tax. Price and assets? Realistically, the conversation starts at a first-rounder and doesn't end there. Sweeteners could include day 2 capital or a young, controllable piece. The only way you justify that kind of spend is if the player you're buying delivers 2 things the minute he lands: immediate pressure and identity reinforcement. Simmons checks both boxes on paper. Let's talk ripple effects. Hutchinson's rush plan becomes meaner, more inside counters, more late hands, more free runs triggered by interior collapse. Linebackers eat cleaner because doubles climb later. The secondary gets to play with their eyes forward. Tips and overthrows start turning into returnable balls. And on offense? Hidden yardage. Short fields. Fewer 12-play drives required to survive. January football is field position and violence. This move increases both. Health and usage are honest questions. You don't ask a star to play 85% of snaps in December and expect him to be the same in the divisional round. You build a rotation that keeps legs fresh, heavy early, situational late, ruthless on money downs. Detroit has the coaching discipline for that. The acquisition would demand it. The human equation matters just as much. Simmons is a tone guy. Practice habits, film standards, the way he talks in the huddle. Detroit's culture is not come as you are. It's come as a pro. That match either works instantly or it doesn't happen. From everything we know about this building, they won't gamble on the wrong personality to chase the right talent. What about alternatives if the price explodes? There are other pass edge help with proven production, cheaper interior disruptors who win with motor and leverage, or a 2-player combo that gives you 80% of the impact at 60% of the cost. Smart front offices gain those out in parallel, so they're not held hostage by one phone call. Let's drop into real football for a 2nd, 3rd, and 7. Loud Road Stadium, bunch to the field, tight end motion weak. With Simmons walk to the inside shade and Hutchinson wide, the guard can't help long enough without losing the inside. The back scans inside out late. Quarterback takes a shorter drop. Now the crosser arrives a beat early. The window is muddy, and your nickel breaks on a ball that never should have been thrown. That's how one play you never see on the highlight makes 3 players look like stars. And what about January matchups? Against a power run team, Simmons' anchor keeps your safeties honest. You don't have to sell out to stop duo and trap. Against a spread and spray offense, his interior push squeezes launch points, so the quick game becomes pick 6 bait. Against mobile quarterbacks, interior violence is the difference between a sack and a scramble first down. You're building a defense that wins the down before the down starts. Reality check. As of this moment, there is no official agreement. What we're doing is stress testing a real-world possibility that makes football sense for Detroit if the numbers line up and the market truly opens. The league is full of smoke this time of year. Our job is to separate fog from fire. So where do I land? If the cost is aggressive but same premium, pick plus manageable add-ons, and the contract structure preserves flexibility for our core, I make the call. Interior dominance is the most portable playoff weapon in football, and it makes Hutchinson, our linebackers, and our back end better on every snap. That's my view, and it's speculation. Now I want yours. Would you push the chips in for Jeffrey Simmons, or would you target a cheaper two-player solution and keep the picks? Tell me your trade package in the comments and which January matchup you think this actually swings. My opinion. Plain and simple before we close. I'd greenlight a Simmons pursued at the right price because the trench math wins in January, but to be crystal clear, this is speculation, not an announcement.